Hi everyone. Hi everyone. How you all doing? How is your day going? Kindly confirm if you can hear me so that I'll be able to know. Yeah, I had to go and pull out my headsets because yesterday most people complained that they could not hear me and I felt bad about that. So I want you guys to hear me. So yes, this is me introducing you all to Adulthood Reset series with Blessing Obanjo. The one we have on Friday is Adulthood and Love series with Blessing Obanjo. So this one particularly is about reset, right? It's about mental reset, it's about building structure around your life as an adult. I'm just trying to give you, an introduction of what this particular series is about, right? So I don't want to be merging love situation. I don't want to be merging it with some other things that I want to talk about. So yeah, it's just for structure's sake. Anyways, so there's a thought in my heart. I think it's not just in my heart. I think that it is something that virtually all of us want to talk about, right? Kindly confirm if you can hear me. Just drop it in the comment section and I'll be able to see it. All right. So I think that there is a thought that many of us had, but we don't say it out loud because it actually feels ungrateful. You know, there's a particular question in your mind and you don't want to say it. Anyways, I will help you hacks. This is me helping you saying it. Like, have you ever thought in your heart, or have you ever had this particular thing, this particular question that comes up in your heart? Like it's like a quiet question. Sometimes it's not every time, it just come quietly. And then you say, why does my 9 to 5 feels like a trap? And immediately you silence it because you remember when you did not have a job. You remember when you were actually praying to God, you know, waiting and hoping for something stable. And now you are working, you are earning, you are showing up, yet it still feels wrong to question what you are feeling inside of you. And it's that part that nobody talks about that I love talking about because I'm going to be sincere, I've been there. But if you are going to be sincere with yourself, if you sit with yourself long enough, you will admit that something doesn't fully settle within your heart. Yeah. You feel like something is missing. You feel like, what am I missing? Am I missing something? Something is just not adding up. It feels like your life is in motion, but your direction is not really clear to you. So you wake up, you go to work, you do what is expected, you come back tired and exhausted. And so all you do is scroll online, right? You scroll through posts, and then you repeat it again. And then day pass, week passes, and at some point you pause and you ask yourself, am I actually progressing or am I just maintaining a cycle? And that question is very uncomfortable. Yeah. And I can come out and say it right now because I have mastered something. And what I have mastered is what I'm bringing, to you guys, right? I know that question can feel very uncomfortable because it actually forces you to confront something deep. One of the thing is you need to understand is that the possibility that there is a movement, there's a the possibility that there is movement, there are actions, does not necessarily equate growth. Yeah, it is possible. It is possible. Saying that, so I was saying that it is actually very possible that because you are making movement, right? You are going out, you are coming in, and then your brain, you assume that you are actually making progress. But the fact that there is movement in your life does not necessarily mean that there is growth going on in the direction of your purpose, in the direction of what your heart draws after. The fact that there is movement does not mean that you are doing what you are supposed to be doing, right? And it also does not mean that the fact that there is movement in your life, you are not doing what you're not supposed you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. It does not mean that. But within the context of what I'm talking about, I'm saying that there's a possibility that there is movement, but the possibility of movement, like interactions with the outside world, it does not equate growth, right? It does not equate growth. And I think that that is where many of us are actually. You are not lazy. In fact, you are not unserious. But most of you guys are moving without structure. And the thing is, I think so many of us, right, we got to know many things late. And now, because you got to know many things late, you feel like, oh, there's no point, it's already late. But that's not true. It's not late. Like the moment you have an awakening about something, that is the moment to actually, restructure and reset your life. And I'm going to be taking you through this journey because I had once been there, that there was movement, there was many bidi, there was many, things going on around me, round about me. And I thought I was actually making progress, whereas I was not making progress in the direction of growth and in direction of my own purpose, in direction of where I want to be, right? So I understand because it can be very difficult if you grew up in a family whereby like you are the first, generation of many things, like you are the first of everything. So you would you feel like, okay, I'm actually trying, but the truth is your trying is not enough, right? And I understand, and I'm not blaming you because nobody really teaches you how to build a life from scratch. They only taught you how to survive one. So this is what I want to unpack with us, right? I'm not judging you. I understand that you have to like master how to earn, but then it's also possible that you've mastered how to earn, but you don't know how to direct what you earn. Because I've worked as what's it called, as a creative project lead for CEOs, for the past 2 years in my life, startup and all. And it is possible that you are making money, but at the end of the year, right, you don't have 100,000 naira in your bank account. It is possible. Yes, I'm not kidding. It is actually possible. And it's not because you are lazy or because you don't even have a job. It is because you have not built structure around your life. So bills, adulthood, struggle, lifestyle, everything is choking what you are building. And you think it's always going to continue that way. Like you're always going to have a job. No, you're not always going to have a job. You're not always going to um you are always going to have a job, yes, in sense of that if you position yourself, if you have right access to right information, and but what I'm saying is that you will not always have this strength. So while we are in our prime, this is time for you to begin to think about, so what will happen in the next 15 years? What will happen, like times that you don't have energy, right? And for some of us that we grew up in a poor background, there's this thing that we have not mastered. We have not mastered how to make our money work for us, right? We've not mastered that. And that is majorly why I am talking about adulthood resets. What we have mastered is survival. We have learned how to survive, but we have not learned how to actually live correctly. You have learned how to work, but you have not learned how to make your work meaningful. So over the time, there's this gap between your effort and your direction, and everything that you do that is happening to you now start to feel like a trap. And it's not because your job is bad. I know that there are some jobs that are bad, your boss can be toxic and all of that, yes. But because the truth is, your life is not yet organized around your intention. So there's no system holding you. There's no system holding you, right? There's no system holding you. There's no clarity guiding you. There's no structure telling you, where your efforts should go, how you can actually build wealth for yourself. You know, there's no investment in view. You don't have investment yet. You know that you are making money, but at the end of the week, you don't know where your money is. Like, seriously. So it is possible that you are busy, but you don't feel like you are building anything that reflects who you are becoming. I understand. And that is where that quiet frustration comes in. It's not coming from the place of the fact that you lack opportunity, but it is coming from the place of alignment. There's like a misalignment in your heart. So there's a way that in your heart you don't just want to survive. You want to try to live life. You want to make sense of the life that you are living, that you are building. So when you are not able to put your hand on that, when you are not able to figure that part out, it feels like your job is a trap. That is what is missing. Because when that is missing, even your progress begins to feel empty. So I know many like I had a discussion with one of my friends this week, and he said, I'm working, but guy, I'm not moving forward. Like I just feel like I'm not moving forward. Like he mentioned it, right? I need you to understand this clearly as I wrap this up. You are not unbroken, no. You are not even ungrateful. You are not even confused in the way you think, right? You are at a stage whereby your life is currently asking for structure. And that is why I'm having this discussion. Your life is currently asking for structure, not someone that will just come online and say deep things that sound nice in the moment. And then when you're in your private space, you feel like a failure. But I want you to actually, you know, I want us to build a community. I'm building a community actually, where we can create language and structure around what we are experiencing as a young adult and what we want to, let's say like, okay, I made a plan for myself from age 26 to 28. This is what I'm going to achieve for myself. So it is that structure and that language that Adulthood Reset series with Blessing Onabanjo is coming to address. We're going to talk about it. I'm not going to pretend. You know me, I don't pretend, right? I spoke with, there was a young man that called me. What's it called? Yeah, some of you guys don't know that I speak Portuguese language. Well, I studied Portuguese language at Obafemi Awolowo University, and I have friends, I live in Brazil and all of that. Yeah. So I was discussing with a guy, and this thing is a universal thing. It's not just Nigerians. You know, he's around 40 years old, and he was discussing that sometimes it feels like he's not getting it. Like it feels like in as much as this, like he has a company, right? He's building, like he has a, what's it called, a restaurant, right? So, and he mentioned that in as much as he's trying to, like he's making the money and all of that, he still feels like there's this thing that is absent, right? And then he also says sometimes he find out that he's in debt, some months he's not in debt. It's just, to me, it is just lack of structure. Lack of structure. So guess what, guys? I'm going to be building something intentional, like a community around this, you know, a community of growth-minded young adults who are not pretending to have everything figured out, but are willing to become more self aware, more structured, and more intentional about their life. And not just that, we are also, it's going to be a very a serious group whereby everybody want to help another person, like want to help each other. So it's not random. It's not, I'm not trying to motivate you, because if you join the group and you're not participating, you'll be removed. Yeah. I can be that tough, right? Right. So I'm going to be sharing how you're going to get into the community soon. Not now, but I'm going to be sharing it soon. So I want you to stay close. So I want you to go back and reflect on what we discussed. Your 9 to 5 might not be a trap. Like, seriously, it might just be that you are yet, to put a structure around your life. So, yeah, if this feels like what your life is right now, or if this is what your life feels like in the moment, I want you to take a breath, take a deep breath, because the truth is, you are not behind, you are not failing, you are actually becoming aware. There was a lady that I saw. I'm going to end that. I'm going to end this particular conversation with this one. There was a particular lady that I saw that she said she became self-aware when she became 35. It was a reel. And she mentioned that after she became self-aware, she, structured her life, and she made her first 1M. She made her first 1M at 38, right? She made it, and then from then she has constantly been making that same amount of money. So let me tell you, if you are committed to growth, Adulthood Research Series with Blessing Obanjo is a group you would always want to be. Like, it's a community where you would always want to be. So I understand that adulthood can be very challenging, can be very tough. But this is me saying, welcome to adulthood, where we are relearning survivor and we are actually building our life from the scratch, and we are making names, and God is being glorified. So I'm going to see you in my next video. Thank you so much for joining, and do have a wonderful day ahead. Bye.